Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt completely lost? Like the person staring back isn't you anymore? Maybe you feel heavy, tired, and your mind feels foggy. You want to change, but it seems impossible. You've tried everything. Diets that don't work. Workouts that make you hurt. You feel like giving up. I know that feeling. I lived it for years. My body felt broken, and my mind felt slow. I was not happy. But then, something clicked. I found simple ways to change. Ways that didn't feel like a punishment. Ways that fit into my busy life. And in just 6 months, I went from feeling completely disfigured and overweight to having a super smart body. And guess what? My mind got super smart too. This is not a dream. This is my story, and I want to share it with you. Now, before you click away, thinking this is another one of those magic pill videos, let me stop you right there. There's no magic here. Just simple, everyday changes that add up to something amazing. You don't need fancy gyms. You don't need to eat only salads. You don't need to spend hours suffering. This is about being smart. Smart with your choices, smart with your time, smart with your body, and most importantly, smart with your mind. Because a true transformation starts inside. It starts with how you think about yourself and what you believe you can do. Think about it. We all want to feel good. We want to have energy. We want to think clearly. We want to move freely. We want to be proud of ourselves. And for a long time, I thought those things were impossible for me. I used to hide from cameras. I used to dread getting dressed. My brain felt like it was stuck in mud. I couldn't focus. I forgot things easily. It was a struggle just to get through the day. Does any of this sound familiar to you? If it does, then this video is for you. This is about changing your life in a real way, a way that lasts. So, how did I do it? How did I go from a body I didn't recognize to one that felt strong, light, and full of energy? How did my brain go from slow and foggy to sharp and quick? It wasn't about extreme diets or endless exercise. It was about understanding my body. It was about listening to what it truly needed. And it was about making small, easy changes one day at a time. I'm going to share exactly what I did, the do's and don'ts that truly worked, and the daily routines that became my secret weapons. This journey is not just about losing weight. It's not just about looking better. It's about feeling better. It's about having more energy for the people you love. It's about having a clear mind to achieve your goals. It's about living a fuller, happier life. And it's simpler than you think. In this series, I'll break down every step from the moment I decided to change to the very simple habits that transformed everything. I will show you that you can do this too. You can feel amazing. You can have a super smart body and a super smart mind. Don't go anywhere. Your transformation starts now. Let's do this together. Chapter 1. The day. It all changed. My wake-up call. It was a Tuesday, or maybe a Wednesday. Honestly, the days blurred into one long, uncomfortable stretch back then. I was sitting on the edge of my bed trying to tie my shoelaces. It sounds simple, right? Just bend over and tie them. But for me, it was a battle. My breath came in short, heavy gasps. My stomach felt like a huge balloon pushing against me. My fingers, swollen and stiff, fumbled with the laces. Sweat dripped down my forehead, even though I hadn't done anything, just tying shoes. And then it happened. My back screamed in pain. A sharp, burning pain that shot all the way down my leg. I gasped, falling back onto the bed completely defeated. That wasn't the first time my body had protested. Not even close. For years, I had slowly been letting myself go. A little extra food here, skipping a walk there. It started slowly, like a tiny crack in a wall. Then the crack grew. My clothes got tighter. I bought bigger sizes, telling myself it was just the brand. My face felt puffier. My eyes often looked tired even after a full night's sleep. My hair, which used to be shiny, felt dull. My skin seemed to lose its glow. Every morning, looking in the mirror was a quiet sadness. It wasn't just about how I looked. It was about how I felt. Getting up in the morning was a struggle. My joints ached. My muscles felt weak, like rubber bands stretched too thin. Going upstairs felt like climbing a mountain. I avoided social events because I didn't want people to see me. I would make excuses. Oh, I'm busy that night, or I'm not feeling well. The truth was, I was ashamed. Ashamed of the person I had become. Ashamed of the body that felt like a prison. And it wasn't just my body. My mind felt slow, too. I used to be sharp, quick with ideas, good at remembering things. But lately, it was like a thick fog had settled in my brain. I would forget simple words in the middle of a sentence. I would walk into a room and forget why I went there. My focus was terrible. I couldn't read a book for long without my mind wandering. My work suffered. I felt less creative, less able to solve problems. It was like two different me's, the old me, who was full of life and ideas, and the new me, who was tired, slow, and always struggling. That morning, trying to tie my shoes was different. The pain in my back, the shame, the heavy breathing, it all hit me at once. It wasn't just discomfort anymore. It was a clear, loud scream from my body saying, "Enough!" I lay there on the bed, staring at the ceiling, and for the first time in a very long time, I truly listened. I thought about my dreams. I used to dream of traveling the world, exploring new places. But how could I do that when walking to the kitchen was hard? I used to dream of learning new things, reading big books. But how could I do that when my brain felt like mush? I thought about my family, the people I loved. I wanted to be there for them, full of energy. But I felt like a burden. This wasn't just about looking good in a swimsuit. This was about living, truly living. It was about having energy to play with my niece and nephew. It was about having a clear mind to enjoy a conversation. It was about feeling strong enough to walk for hours and explore new cities. It was about being able to simply tie my shoes without wanting to cry. I started to list everything that was wrong. My weight was way too high. My cholesterol was bad. My blood pressure was high. My sugar levels were borderline. I was always tired, always sore, always mentally drained. My doctor had told me many times to make changes, but I always found an excuse. I'm too busy. I'll start tomorrow. It's too hard. But on that Tuesday or Wednesday morning, lying on my bed with a screaming back, those excuses suddenly sounded hollow. They sounded like lies I was telling myself. I realized that too hard was easier than living like this. Too busy was a lie when I was spending hours feeling bad about myself. I knew, right then, that something had to change. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. This moment. This was my wake-up call. It wasn't a sudden burst of energy or a magical feeling. It was a quiet, firm decision deep inside me. I was tired of being tired. I was tired of being in pain. I was tired of hiding. I didn't know how I would do it. I had tried so many times before and failed. But this time, something felt different. Maybe it was the depth of the pain. Maybe it was the complete exhaustion of feeling so bad. I didn't have a grand plan. I didn't have a perfect diet written out. I didn't have a gym membership. All I had was the powerful feeling that I had to change. My first step was very simple, almost silly. I got off the bed. Slowly, painfully, I stood up. My back still hurt, but the decision felt bigger than the pain. I walked to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and truly saw myself. Not with judgment, but with a new kind of honesty. This was me. This was where I was, and this was the starting point for where I wanted to go. I didn't tell anyone about my decision that day. It felt too private, too fragile. I was afraid if I said it out loud, it would disappear. This time, it was just for me. A silent promise to myself, made in a moment of pain and profound clarity. The journey to a super smart body and a super smart mind began not with a big workout or a strict diet, but with a single clear thought. Enough is enough. I deserve better. This thought, simple as it was the spark. It was the moment everything changed. Chapter 2. Tiny Habits, Big Wins, the 1% Rule. That painful morning, when I made the quiet decision to change, I still felt lost. I knew I had to change, but the idea of transforming my whole body and mind felt like trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. I had tried big, drastic changes before. I would start a super strict diet on Monday, eat only salads, and feel hungry and miserable. By Wednesday, I would crash and eat everything in sight. I would join a gym, go every day for a week, feel sore, and then just stop going. These big changes never lasted. They always led to feeling even worse about myself, like I was a failure. So this time, I decided to do something different. Instead of looking for a big, quick fix, I started thinking about tiny steps. I remembered something I once read about the 1% rule. The idea is simple. If you make yourself just 1% better every day, it adds up to a huge change over time. It's like saving money. A little bit each day might not seem like much, but after a year, it's a lot. And for me, someone who felt completely overwhelmed, 1% felt possible. It felt like something I could actually do without feeling like I was punishing myself. My first tiny habit was about water. For years, I drank almost no plain water. It was always soda, juice, or coffee. I knew water was good for me, but I just didn't like it. My first tiny goal was to drink 1 extra glass of water every day. Just 1. Not a gallon, not half my body weight, just 1 glass. I put a glass by my bed, and when I woke up, before anything else, I drank it. It felt small, almost too small to matter. But I did it. And the next day, I did it again. It was a win. A tiny win, but a win nonetheless. My second tiny habit was about movement. Going for a long run felt impossible. Even a long walk felt daunting. So I started with walking around my living room for 5 minutes. That's it. Just 5 minutes. I would put on some music and just walk in circles or back and forth. Sometimes I felt silly, but I did it. 5 minutes. Some days I felt a little better and walked for 10. But I always made sure to do at least 5. It wasn't about burning a lot of calories at first. It was about telling my body, we are moving again. We are getting unstuck. The don't here was crucial. Don't try to change everything at once. Don't think you need to be perfect from day one. Don't compare yourself to others. Just focus on your 1%. My do was choose 1 tiny thing and stick to it, no matter how small it felt. As I started these tiny habits, something interesting happened. Because they were so small, they weren't scary. They didn't feel like a huge effort. And because I could actually do them, I started to feel a little bit of success. That feeling of success, even a tiny one, was like a small light turning on inside me. It showed me that I could do it, that I wasn't a total failure. This tiny success built a little bit of confidence, and confidence, I learned, is like fuel for more change. My third tiny habit was about food. I loved sweets, big sugary cakes, cookies, ice cream. I couldn't just stop eating them completely because I knew I would crave them and then overeat. So, my tiny habit was this. For one meal a day, I would add one extra vegetable, just one. Maybe a piece of cucumber with my sandwich, or a small handful of spinach in my scrambled eggs. It didn't replace anything. It just added something good. Again, it felt too simple, but it meant I was putting something healthy into my body every day, something I wasn't doing before. The key to the 1% rule is consistency, not intensity. It's doing something small every single day, rather than doing something big once a week and then stopping. It's about building a chain of good habits. Every time I drank that glass of water, or walked for 5 minutes, or added that vegetable, I was adding another link to my chain. And with each link, the chain got stronger. I started to notice small shifts. After a few days of drinking more water, I felt a little less bloated. After a week of 5-minute walks, my joints felt a tiny bit less stiff. After adding vegetables, my stomach felt a little calmer. These changes were so small, but they were real. They were signs that my body was responding, even to these gentle nudges. Another tiny habit I added was about my mind. My mind felt so foggy. I knew reading was good for it, but I couldn't focus on a whole chapter. So, I decided to read just one page of a book every day. Any book. Just one page. Sometimes I read more, but I always made sure to read at least one. It was a way to gently wake up my brain, to tell it, it's time to focus again. This was a do for my mind. My don't was, don't sit and watch TV for hours without a break. Instead, I would read that one page during a TV commercial break. I kept a small notebook. In it, I simply wrote down my tiny habits for the day. Did I drink my extra glass of water? Check. Did I walk for 5 minutes? Check. Did I add a vegetable? Check. Did I read one page? Check. Seeing those checks day after day gave me a quiet sense of accomplishment. It wasn't about losing 5 pounds in a week. It was about showing up for myself consistently every single day. This approach stopped the cycle of feeling like a failure. When I tried to do too much, I would fail, and then I would feel bad, and then I would stop trying. But with tiny habits, even on a bad day, I could always manage to drink that one glass of water or walk for 5 minutes. Even if everything else went wrong, I could still do my 1%. This meant I never completely gave up. I never fell off the wagon completely. I just kept going, one tiny step at a time. The beauty of the 1% rule is that these tiny habits start to create a ripple effect. When you drink more water, you might feel less hungry for unhealthy snacks. When you walk for 5 minutes, you might feel a little more energized to take another 5. When you add a vegetable, you might start craving more healthy foods. Your body and mind start to work with you, not against you. It's like gently steering a big ship. You don't yank the wheel, you make tiny adjustments, and over time, the ship changes direction. This was the true start of my transformation, not with a huge, painful leap, but with small, almost invisible steps. Each step built on the last, creating a solid foundation. This was the exact opposite of what I had always tried before. And for the first time, it felt right. It felt sustainable. It felt like I was actually building something, piece by tiny piece, that would truly last. This was the power of the 1% rule, and it was changing everything. Chapter 3: Kitchen Secrets: Eating Smarter, Not Lessel. After building some momentum with my tiny habits, I realized that to truly transform my body and mind, I had to face the kitchen. For years, my kitchen had been a place of quick fixes, comfort eating, and often guilt. My relationship with food was broken. I ate when I was stressed, when I was bored, and sometimes just because the food was there. I was eating a lot, and usually the wrong things. My past attempts at dieting were always about eating less. I would drastically cut calories, feel starved, and then binge. It was a vicious cycle. This time, with the 1% rule in mind, I knew I needed a different approach. My new secret wasn't about eating less. It was about eating smarter. It was about changing what I ate, not just how much. And it had to be simple, because I wasn't a chef, and I didn't have hours to spend cooking. The first secret I uncovered was about adding, not just subtracting. Instead of focusing on all the bad foods I couldn't eat, I focused on good foods I could add. My tiny habit from Chapter 2 was adding one vegetable to one meal. I kept doing that, but slowly I started adding more. Do. Add more good stuff. Don't. Focus only on what you can't have. For breakfast, instead of just a sugary cereal, I added a handful of berries. If I made eggs, I threw in some spinach. For lunch, if I had a sandwich, I made sure there was a big side of carrots or bell peppers. Dinner, I started to fill half my plate with vegetables first, before anything else. This simple visual cue helped me eat more greens without even thinking about it. My second secret was about protein. I learned that protein helps you feel full for longer and helps your muscles grow. Before, I mostly ate carbs and fats. Now I made sure every meal had a good source of protein. This didn't mean eating huge steaks. It meant eggs for breakfast instead of just toast. Chicken or fish, simple grilled or baked chicken breast, or a piece of fish. Beans and lentils. I started adding these to soups, salads, or as a side dish. They are cheap and easy. Greek yogurt, a quick snack with some fruit. Do include protein in every meal. Don't forget protein, especially if you get hungry quickly after eating. The change was amazing. When I ate enough protein, I didn't feel that desperate hunger just an hour after eating. This stopped me from reaching for unhealthy snacks. I wasn't eating less food, but I was eating better food that kept me full and satisfied. My third secret was about understanding cravings. I used to think cravings were my enemy. Now I saw them as a message. Often, I wasn't truly hungry. I was bored, tired, or stressed. My do for cravings was to pause and ask myself, am I really hungry? Do. Ask yourself if you're truly hungry before eating. Don't. Eat just because you're bored or stressed. If I was truly hungry, I would reach for something healthy, an apple, a handful of nuts, or that Greek yogurt. If I wasn't hungry, I would try to do something else for 10 minutes, take a short walk, drink some water, read a page of my book. Most times, the craving would pass. If it didn't, and I really wanted something sweet, I allowed myself a small treat, like one square of dark chocolate, instead of a whole bar. This stopped the all-or-nothing thinking that always led to failure. My fourth secret was simple meal planning. This sounded hard, but I made it tiny. My do was to think about just one meal for the next day. Usually, it was dinner. I would decide the night before what I would cook. Do. Plan at least one meal ahead of time. Don't. Wait until you're starving to decide what to eat. That's when bad choices happen. This stopped me from ordering unhealthy takeout at the last minute when I was tired. I also started to keep simple, healthy ingredients in my fridge and pantry: eggs, frozen vegetables, canned beans, oats, fruits. If healthy food was easy to grab, I was more likely to eat it. My fifth secret was about eating slowly and mindfully. Before, I would eat quickly, often while looking at my phone or watching TV. I barely tasted the food. Now I tried to slow down. I would put my fork down between bites. I would chew my food completely. I would pay attention to the taste and texture. Do. Eat slowly and enjoy your food. Don't. Eat while distracted or super fast. This allowed my brain to catch up with my stomach. My body had time to signal that it was full, so I stopped eating before I felt stuffed. It also made the food more enjoyable, which was a surprise. Eating healthier didn't mean eating boring food. My sixth secret was cooking at home more often. I used to eat out a lot or get processed pre-made meals. I learned that even simple home cooking was usually much healthier. I didn't try to cook fancy meals. I focused on simple recipes with few ingredients: baked chicken with roasted vegetables, scrambled eggs with spinach, quick lentil soup. Do. Cook simple meals at home often. Don't. Rely too much on restaurant food or highly processed packaged foods. I didn't become a master chef overnight, but I learned to make a few go-to healthy meals that I actually enjoyed. This also saved money, which was a nice bonus. And the final huge secret: no food was bad forever. I learned that if I completely forbid certain foods, I would only want them more. Instead, I practiced moderation. If I really wanted a slice of pizza, I would have one slice, not half the box. If I wanted ice cream, I would have a small scoop, not a giant bowl. Do. Allow yourself small treats in moderation. Don't. Label foods as good or bad, and then feel guilty when you eat the bad ones. This released me from the guilt cycle. When I didn't feel guilty, I didn't feel the need to punish myself by eating more. This gentle approach made healthy eating feel like a choice, not a punishment. These kitchen secrets weren't about complicated rules or starving myself. They were about simple shifts in how I approached food. By adding good things, focusing on protein, understanding my cravings, planning ahead, eating slowly, cooking more, and practicing moderation, my whole relationship with food changed. I was eating smarter, my body felt better, and my mind started to clear up. The fog was lifting, one smart bite at a time. This was not a diet. It was a new way of living. Chapter 4. Move your body, change your mind, simple fitness. Moving my body had become a chore, a painful reminder of how far I'd let myself go. Before my wake-up call, the idea of fitness meant going to a crowded gym, lifting heavy weights I didn't understand, or running on a treadmill until I was gasping for air. These images filled me with dread, not motivation. I knew I needed to move, but how? My joints ached, my stamina was non-existent, and frankly, I felt embarrassed. Just like with my eating habits, I realized the old all-or-nothing approach to fitness was my biggest enemy. I couldn't go from 0 to a marathon. My tiny habit of 5 minutes of walking in my living room was a start, but I needed more. The secret wasn't about becoming an athlete overnight. It was about simple fitness that changed not just my body, but my mind too. This was about finding joy in movement again, not just seeing it as a punishment. My first big realization was that movement doesn't have to happen in a gym. My home was my gym. The park outside my apartment was my gym. The stairs in my building were my gym. This immediately took away the excuse of no time or no money for a membership. Find ways to move where you are, using what you have. Don't think you need fancy equipment or a special place to start. I continued my 5-minute walks, but slowly I added 1 more minute, then another. After a week or two, my 5-minute walk had become a 10-minute walk. It still felt easy, but it was more. This consistent, gentle increase was the core of my fitness strategy. It was still the 1% rule applied to movement. My second secret was about listening to my body. In the past, I would push myself until I was in pain, thinking, no pain, no gain. But this only led to injury and stopping completely. This time, I paid attention. If my back started hurting during a walk, I would slow down or stop. If my knees felt sore, I would do something different. Listen to your body and rest when needed. Don't push through sharp pain or ignore what your body is telling you. This was a huge shift. I learned that pain wasn't a sign of effort, it was a sign to adjust. This made exercise feel less like a battle and more like a conversation with my body. My third secret was incorporating different kinds of simple movements. Walking was great for my heart, but I also needed to strengthen my muscles and improve my flexibility. Again, I started small. For strength, I began with bodyweight exercises right in my living room. No weights needed. Wall push-ups. Facing a wall, put your hands on it at shoulder height, then lean in and push back. It's like a standing push-up, very easy. I started with 5, then 6, then 7. Chair squats. Standing in front of a chair, slowly sit down and stand up. Use your hands on your knees for help if needed. I started with 5, then 6. Leg lifts. Lying on my back, I would lift one leg up straight, then put it down. Then the other leg. This helped my core without straining my back. I started with 5 for each leg. These were my do's for strength. Start with bodyweight exercises that are easy and safe. Don't try to lift heavy weights if you're a beginner. For flexibility, I found simple stretches online. Just a few minutes each day, holding each stretch for 20 to 30 seconds. Stretching felt good, especially in the mornings when I was stiff. It was a do for my flexibility. Stretch gently for a few minutes daily. Don't force stretches that cause pain. The change your mind part of this chapter title became very real here. When I started moving, even just a little, I noticed a huge difference in my brain. That fog I talked about? It started to lift. After a simple walk, I felt more awake. After a few minutes of stretching, I felt less stressed. My focus improved. It was like movement was a key that unlocked my brain. I learned that exercise releases feel-good chemicals in the brain called endorphins. These chemicals naturally make you feel happier and less stressed. It also increased blood flow to my brain, which helped with mental clarity and focus. This was a powerful motivator. I wasn't just moving for my body. I was moving for my mind. Notice how movement affects your mood and focus. Use it as motivation. Don't see exercise only as a way to lose weight. It's also for your brain. My daily routine became a mix of these simple activities. Morning, 10 to 15-minute walk, indoors or outdoors, followed by 5 minutes of gentle stretches. This was my wake-up for both body and mind. Midday, a few sets of wall push-ups or chair squats if I had a moment, or just walking to get a glass of water instead of sitting. Evening. Another short walk or more stretches, especially after sitting for a while. Consistency was still the most important thing. Some days I felt tired, and I would only do my minimum 5-minute walk. But I always did something. I never skipped 2 days in a row. This was my do. My don't was, don't let a bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month. Just get back on track the next day. I didn't focus on calories burned or miles walked at first. My focus was on feeling better, having more energy, and clearing my mind. The weight loss was a side effect, a happy bonus, but it wasn't the main goal when it came to movement. The main goal was to reconnect with my body, to make it my friend again, and to use movement to sharpen my mind. Slowly, almost without noticing, I started enjoying movement. I looked forward to my walks. I felt stronger when I did my bodyweight exercises. My back pain lessened. Tying my shoelaces became easy. Getting up from a chair was no longer a struggle, and the mental clarity was amazing. I could focus for longer. My memory improved. I felt more positive and less anxious. It taught me that fitness isn't about being perfect or extreme. It's about being consistent, being kind to your body, and understanding the incredible power of even the simplest movements to transform you, inside and out. Moving my body became a way to change my mind, and that was the biggest secret of all. Chapter 5. Sleep your way to success, rest and repair. When I started this journey, focusing on my body and mind, I thought the main things were diet and exercise. I was wrong. Very wrong. There was a third, equally powerful pillar that I had completely ignored for years: sleep. I used to think sleep was a luxury, something I could cut short to get more things done. I was always tired, always groggy, and I blamed it on my weight or just being stressed. What I didn't realize was that my lack of good sleep was making everything worse. My body, my brain, my hunger, my mood. My wake-up call for sleep didn't come with a sharp back pain, but with a dull, constant tiredness that seeped into every part of my day. I'd fall asleep on the couch, wake up feeling worse, then struggle to fall asleep in bed. My mind would race at night, making me stare at the ceiling for hours. I was caught in a cycle of bad sleep leading to bad days, and bad days leading to even worse sleep. The biggest secret I learned in this phase was that sleep isn't just about resting, it's about repair and optimization. While you sleep, your body does incredible work. It fixes damaged cells, builds muscle, yes, even when you're not moving, balances your hormones, and cleans up your brain. Think of it like your body's personal repair shop and brain's cleaning crew working overtime. If you don't give them enough time, things break down. View sleep as a vital part of your transformation, not an optional extra. Don't see sleep as wasted time or something to be cut short. My first tiny habit for sleep was incredibly simple, and it came from a common piece of advice I had always ignored. Go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning, even on weekends. This felt restrictive at first. What if I wanted to watch a movie late? What if I wanted to sleep in on Saturday? But I tried it, committing to just 1 week. Pick a consistent bedtime and wake-up time and stick to it. Don't let your sleep schedule swing wildly between weekdays and weekends. It was hard for the first few days. I lay in bed wide awake, forcing myself to stay there. But after about a week, my body started to learn. I began to feel tired around my bedtime and wake up more easily around my wake-up time. This consistency helped regulate my body's natural sleep-wake cycle, also known as your circadian rhythm. My second secret was about creating a sleep sanctuary. My bedroom used to be a mess. Clothes on the floor, bright lights, my phone always charging next to my head. I realized it was not a relaxing place. So, I started making small changes. Darkness. I bought thick curtains to block out all light. Even a little bit of light can disturb sleep. Quiet. I made sure my room was as quiet as possible. Sometimes I used earplugs. Coolness. I found that a slightly cool room, around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius or 65 to 68 Fahrenheit, was best for sleep. Do. Make your bedroom dark, quiet, and cool. Don't have bright lights, loud noises, or a too warm room when trying to sleep. My third secret was the power of a wind-down routine. Before, I would work on my computer until 10 p.m., then immediately jump into bed, expecting to fall asleep instantly. My brain was still buzzing. I learned I needed to prepare my mind and body for sleep. So, about an hour before my consistent bedtime, I started a simple routine. No screens. This was a tough one. I stopped looking at my phone, tablet, or TV. The blue light from screens can confuse your brain, telling it that it's daytime. Gentle activity. Instead, I would read my physical book, not on a screen, listen to calm music, or do some very gentle stretching. Warm bath or shower. This helped my body relax and cool down afterwards, which signals sleep. Do. Create a calm, screen-free, wind-down routine an hour before bed. Don't. Look at screens, phone, tablet, TV, right before trying to sleep. My fourth secret was understanding the connection between sleep and hunger. This was a huge eye-opener. When I was sleep-deprived, my body produced more of a hunger hormone, ghrelin, and less of a fullness hormone, leptin. This meant I felt hungrier even when I had eaten enough, and I craved sugary, unhealthy foods for energy. My foggy brain couldn't resist. When I started sleeping better, my hormones balanced out. I felt less hungry, had fewer cravings, and made smarter food choices without even trying. Do. Know that good sleep helps manage your appetite and food choices. Don't undermine your healthy eating efforts by sacrificing sleep. My fifth secret was the afternoon energy dip. I used to hit a wall around 2 or 3 p.m., feeling sleepy and grabbing coffee or sugary snacks. I learned that a short power nap, 15 to 20 minutes, could be a game changer if I had the time. It didn't mess up my night sleep if it was short. If I couldn't nap, a quick 5-minute walk or a few stretches helped refresh my brain more than another coffee. Do. Consider short power naps or light movement for afternoon energy dips. Don't rely on caffeine or sugar to push through afternoon tiredness if better sleep is the root cause. Over time, these sleep habits transformed my entire day. I woke up feeling more refreshed, not just tired. My brain felt clearer almost immediately. I could focus better at work and in conversations. My mood improved. I felt less irritable and more positive. And the biggest surprise, my body started to feel better too. My muscles recovered faster from my simple movements. My weight loss efforts seemed to accelerate without me doing anything extra, simply because my hormones were more balanced. It made me realize that trying to transform without addressing sleep is like trying to build a house without a strong foundation. It just won't stand. Sleep isn't passive. It's an active process of rebuilding and recharging. It's where your body and mind truly get the chance to repair all the wear and tear of the day. The transition wasn't perfect. Some nights I still struggled, but instead of giving up, I went back to my do's and don'ts. I remembered to keep my room dark, do my wind-down routine, and stick to my consistent schedule. Each night I got a little better, and each morning I felt the rewards. Sleeping my way to success wasn't just about feeling less tired. It was about giving my body and brain the essential time they needed to become super smart. It was the missing piece of the puzzle, and once I put it in place, my transformation truly began to accelerate. Chapter 6: Mind Power Beyond the Mirror. Even after I started eating smarter, moving more, and sleeping better, there was still a part of me that felt stuck. It was the voice in my head, the one that whispered, "You'll never really change. You've tried before. You're not strong enough." This voice was a constant shadow, pulling me back to my old ways. I could make my body do things, but my mind often felt like it was fighting against me. This is when I realized the transformation wasn't just about my physical body. It was about my mind power, going beyond what the mirror showed me. For years, I had focused only on the numbers on the scale, the size of my clothes, and how I looked. But those things were just reflections. The real change, the lasting change, had to happen inside my head. My mind power was about controlling my thoughts, especially the negative ones, and learning to believe in myself. The first secret to mind power was recognizing my negative self-talk. This was the constant stream of harsh words I said to myself. "You're so lazy. You look awful. You're too weak to do this." I wouldn't say these things to a friend, but I said them to myself all the time. I learned that these thoughts were like poison for my progress. Become aware of your negative self-talk. Don't let those negative thoughts go unchallenged. My tiny habit for this was to simply catch myself when I had a negative thought. Just notice it. For example, if I thought, "Ugh, I'm so fat," I would mentally say, "Stop." I noticed that thought. I didn't try to argue with it or make it disappear at first. Just noticing was the first step. It was like finally hearing the constant complaining in my own head. The second secret was to reframe negative thoughts into neutral or positive ones. Once I could catch the negative thoughts, the next step was to gently change them. If I thought, "I'm too tired to walk today," I would reframe it to, "I'm feeling a little tired, but I can still do my 5-minute walk. And that's okay." If I thought, "This food is so boring," I'd reframe it to, "This food is fueling my body to be strong and smart." Gently reframe negative thoughts into more supportive ones. Don't beat yourself up for having negative thoughts. Just change them. This wasn't about lying to myself. It was about shifting my perspective. Instead of focusing on what was wrong, I focused on what was possible, even if it was just a tiny possibility. This small shift in language started to change how I felt. My third secret was visualization. Before, I would picture myself failing, or looking bad, or being unable to do something. Now, I started to use my imagination for good. Every morning, for just 1 minute, I would close my eyes and visualize my super smart body. I didn't focus on how I looked right then, but how I wanted to feel. Spend a minute or two each day visualizing yourself achieving your goals and feeling good. Don't dwell on negative images of yourself or your failures. I imagined myself easily climbing stairs, playing without getting tired, having a clear and quick mind. I pictured myself smiling, full of energy, and feeling proud. I imagined my brain working fast, remembering things easily. This simple practice created a positive picture in my mind, a goal to work towards, and it made me feel more motivated. It was like giving my brain a map of where I wanted to go. My fourth secret was gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's wrong, on what you don't have, or on what you haven't achieved yet. I started a tiny gratitude practice. Every night before bed, I would think of just 3 things I was grateful for that day, no matter how small. Do. Practice daily gratitude, even for small things. Don't. Focus only on what's missing or what you don't like about yourself. Maybe it was the extra energy I had, or that my back didn't hurt as much, or that I had a healthy meal. Or maybe it was just a sunny day, or a good song on the radio. This shifted my focus from what was bad to what was good in my life. It made me feel more positive, and positivity is a powerful fuel for change. The 5th secret was celebrating tiny wins. When I was doing my 5-minute walks or drinking an extra glass of water, it felt too small to celebrate. But I learned that every small success, no matter how tiny, needed to be recognized. Do. Acknowledge and celebrate every small achievement. Don't. Only wait for big results to feel proud. When I completed my daily water goal, I'd give myself a mental good job. When I finished my walk, I'd pat myself on the back. These small celebrations built up my confidence and showed my brain that my efforts were valuable and worth continuing. It created a positive feedback loop. I did something good, I felt good, and that made me want to do more good things. My 6th secret was self-compassion. This was perhaps the hardest one. Forgiving myself for past mistakes, for the years I neglected my body, was a challenge. I learned to treat myself with the same kindness I would offer a friend. If I had a bad day or ate something unhealthy, instead of thinking, "You're a failure," I would say, "Okay, that happened. Tomorrow is a new day. Let's get back on track." Do. Be kind and forgiving to yourself when you make mistakes. Don't dwell on mistakes or use them as an excuse to give up. This stopped the spiral of guilt that always led me back to old habits. It taught me that progress isn't a straight line. It's okay to stumble as long as you get back up. This mind power was truly beyond the mirror. It wasn't about the physical changes, but the mental strength and resilience I was building. As my mind became stronger, clearer, and more positive, it became easier to make the right choices for my body. The internal critic quieted down, and a supportive, encouraging voice took its place. I learned that true transformation starts in the mind, by cultivating a belief in yourself, practicing gratitude, and being your own best friend. It was the most powerful secret of all. Chapter 7. Bye-bye brain fog, fueling your focus. After addressing my physical state and starting to tame my negative thoughts, I noticed something remarkable. The thick, cloudy brain fog that had been my constant companion for years was starting to lift. It wasn't gone completely, but moments of clarity were becoming more frequent. I realized that my journey wasn't just about transforming my physical body. It was equally about transforming my brain. This chapter is all about bye-bye brain fog, fueling your focus, and how simple changes led to a sharper, quicker, and more focused mind. For a long time, I just accepted that my brain was slow. I forgot names, misplaced keys constantly, struggled to concentrate on tasks, and found it hard to learn new things. It was frustrating and made me feel less capable. I thought it was just getting older or stress. What I discovered was that just as my body needed the right fuel and care, so did my brain. The first secret to clearing brain fog was realizing the deep connection between food and brain power. In the previous chapters, I talked about eating smarter for my body. Now I learned that those same healthy foods were literally feeding my brain. My brain needs specific nutrients to work well, and sugary processed foods were starving it. Understand that what you eat directly impacts your brain's performance. Don't fuel your brain with processed junk food and excessive sugar. My tiny habit here was focusing on brain foods. I started adding things known to be good for the brain to my meals. Omega-3s, found in fatty fish like salmon, chia seeds, and walnuts. I started adding a small handful of walnuts to my oatmeal or salad. Antioxidants, found in colorful fruits and vegetables, berries, spinach, broccoli. These protect your brain cells. I made sure to eat a variety of colors every day. Whole grains. These provide a steady release of energy to the brain, unlike sugary foods that give you a quick spike and then a crash. I switched to whole wheat bread and brown rice. I wasn't trying to eat perfectly, but I was making conscious choices to include these brain-boosting foods. The effect wasn't instant, but slowly I noticed a subtle difference. My energy levels felt more stable, and I didn't experience the dramatic energy crashes that left my brain feeling completely drained. My second secret for mental clarity was the critical role of hydration. This seems so simple, but it was a game changer. Remember that one extra glass of water from Chapter 2? I kept increasing it slowly. I learned that even mild dehydration can make your brain shrink slightly, leading to fatigue, poor concentration, and headaches. Drink plenty of plain water throughout the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty to drink, as thirst is already a sign of dehydration. I always kept a water bottle near me. I added a slice of lemon or cucumber sometimes to make it more appealing. I found that when I was well hydrated, my head felt clearer, my energy was better, and my focus lasted longer. It was a simple, yet powerful do. The third secret was understanding the brain-boosting power of movement. In Chapter 4, I talked about moving my body. Now I understood why it helped my brain. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which means more oxygen and nutrients. It also helps create new brain cells and connections. Incorporate short bursts of movement throughout your day, especially when you feel mentally stuck. Don't sit for hours without moving, expecting your brain to stay sharp. If I felt my focus slipping while reading or working, I wouldn't just try to force it. Instead, I'd get up and do a quick 5-minute walk around the room or a few stretches. Sometimes I'd even just walk up and down my stairs a few times. This wasn't about burning calories, it was about waking up my brain. And it worked. I would return to my task with renewed focus. My fourth secret was about managing mental overload. My brain fog was often made worse by trying to do too many things at once or having too many thoughts swirling around. I learned the importance of focusing on one task at a time. Focus on one task at a time to improve concentration. Don't multitask, thinking you're being more efficient. When I started a task, whether it was writing an email or cleaning a room, I committed to only doing that task. I put my phone away or turned off notifications. This simple act of single tasking reduced the mental clutter and allowed my brain to dive deeper into what I was doing. It felt less stressful and more productive. The fifth secret was the incredible impact of sleep on memory and concentration. I've already talked about getting better sleep in Chapter 5, but here's the specific brain benefit. Sleep is when your brain literally consolidates memories and clears out waste products. If you don't get enough quality sleep, your memory suffers, and your ability to focus takes a hit. Do prioritize consistent, quality sleep for optimal brain function. Don't expect your brain to perform well if you're chronically sleep deprived. When I started getting consistent sleep, I noticed my memory improving. I could recall names and facts more easily. My ability to learn new information felt sharper. It was like my brain had finally had a chance to organize itself. My sixth secret was brain training, but not in a complicated way. I learned that challenging my brain regularly, just like challenging my muscles, kept it sharp. This didn't mean doing complex puzzles all day. My do for brain training was simply to learn one new, small thing every day or week. Do gently challenge your brain with new information or skills regularly. Don't let your brain get lazy by only doing familiar routines. This could be learning a new word in a foreign language, reading an article about a topic I knew nothing about, or trying a slightly different route on my walk. These small mental exercises kept my brain active and adaptable. The cumulative effect of these simple brain-fueling habits was profound. The brain fog that had plagued me for years slowly, steadily, began to dissipate. My thoughts became clearer. My memory improved significantly. I could focus on tasks for longer periods without feeling overwhelmed or distracted. I felt mentally sharper, more alert, and more engaged with the world around me. This wasn't just about my physical transformation. It was about reclaiming my mental agility and intellectual curiosity. My brain, once sluggish and foggy, was becoming truly super smart. Chapter 8. Energy Unleashed, Powering Through Your Day. For so long, my days felt like a constant uphill battle against tiredness. I would wake up already exhausted, push through the morning with coffee, hit a major slump in the afternoon, and then drag myself to bed, only to repeat the cycle. My extremely disfigured and overweight body was draining me of energy, but what I didn't realize was that my habits were also creating this energy drain. This chapter is about energy unleashed, powering through your day, and how by making simple, intentional choices, I went from constantly fatigued to having a wellspring of energy that kept me going strong from morning till night. My biggest aha moment about energy was realizing that it wasn't just about how much I slept or even how much I ate. It was about how I managed my energy throughout the entire day. Energy is like money in a bank account. You can make deposits, good habits, and withdrawals, bad habits. My account was always in the red. Do. Think of your daily energy as a bank account you need to manage. Don't. See energy as a fixed amount that you just run out of. The first secret to unleashing energy was optimizing my morning routine. Before, I'd hit snooze multiple times, then rush out of bed, grabbing whatever quick, often unhealthy breakfast was available. This chaotic start set a low energy tone for the whole day. My new do was to create a calm, energizing morning. Do. Start your day with a calm, intentional routine. Don't hit snooze repeatedly or rush immediately into the day's demands. My routine became wake up consistently, from Chapter 5, vital for consistent energy. Hydrate immediately. That first glass of water, from Chapter 3, after waking up wasn't just for clearing brain fog. It literally kick-started my body's systems, waking them up from sleep. Gentle movement. My 10 to 15-minute walk or stretches, from Chapter 4, first thing in the morning wasn't just for fitness. It gently increased blood flow and oxygen to my muscles and brain, giving me a natural energy boost without the jolt of caffeine. Nutrient-rich breakfast, from Chapter 3. Eating protein and fiber-rich foods like eggs and vegetables or oatmeal with berries and nuts gave my body a steady, sustained release of energy. No sugar spikes, no crashes. This calm, intentional start made a huge difference. I felt more awake, more focused, and generally more ready to tackle the day, right from the first hour. My second secret was about eating for sustained energy, not quick fixes. I used to rely on sugary snacks or extra coffee when my energy dipped. These gave me a quick lift, followed by an even deeper crash. I learned that steady energy comes from steady blood sugar. Do eat balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates to maintain stable energy. Don't rely on sugar, excessive caffeine, or refined carbs for energy boosts. I focused on eating smaller, more frequent balanced meals. Instead of 3 large meals, I aimed for 3 slightly smaller meals and 2 healthy snacks. Each meal and snack had a combination of protein, like a handful of nuts, Greek yogurt, or a piece of cheese, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, and complex carbs, whole grains, vegetables. This prevented me from getting hangry or having those dramatic energy drops. The third secret was strategic breaks and movement throughout the day. Sitting for long periods drains energy and makes you feel sluggish. My do was to actively break up long periods of sitting. Do take short movement breaks every hour or so. Don't sit for hours without moving. Every hour I'd set a timer for 5 minutes. During that time I would stand up and stretch, walk to get a glass of water, walk up and down a flight of stairs, do a few wall push-ups or chair squats. These mini breaks were like hitting a reset button for my energy. They kept my blood flowing, prevented stiffness, and actually improved my focus when I returned to my tasks. I found that I wasn't just noticing my energy drain, I was actively preventing it. My fourth secret was the power of fresh air and sunlight. I used to spend almost all my time indoors. I learned that even a few minutes of being outside can significantly boost energy and mood. Do get outside for a few minutes each day, especially during daylight hours. Don't stay cooped up indoors all day, every day. Whenever possible, I'd take my short walks outside. Even just stepping onto a balcony or opening a window for a few minutes made a difference. Sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, sleep-wake cycle, which directly impacts your daytime energy. Fresh air invigorates the senses and can make you feel more awake and alive. The fifth secret was about managing mental energy. Energy isn't just physical, it's mental too. Decision fatigue, stress, and negative thoughts can drain you just as much as physical exertion. Do simplify decisions, manage stress, and use positive self-talk. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many decisions or let stress consume you. I started making simple do lists for my day, focusing on only 3 important tasks. This reduced decision fatigue. I used my gratitude practice, from Chapter 6, to combat stress and negative thoughts. When I felt overwhelmed, I'd take a short break to visualize or practice deep breathing. These mental deposits kept my brain's energy levels steady. My 6th secret was knowing when to recharge. I learned to recognize the early signs of energy dips before I hit a wall. Instead of pushing through until I crashed, I would proactively take a moment to recharge. This could be a short power nap, 15 to 20 minutes, listening to calming music, stepping away from my task for a few minutes of quiet contemplation, calling a supportive friend for a quick chat. Do recognize your energy dips and take small, proactive breaks to recharge. Don't push yourself to exhaustion, leading to burnout. The transformation in my energy levels was one of the most exciting parts of my journey. I no longer felt like I was dragging myself through the day. I had consistent energy to not just get through my work, but to enjoy my hobbies, spend quality time with loved ones, and even try new things. My physical body felt lighter and more capable, and my clear, sharp mind could tackle challenges with enthusiasm. Unleashing this energy wasn't about finding a magic source. It was about understanding the simple habits that either drained or fueled my energy bank account, and then making daily choices to fill it up. Chapter 9: Sustaining the Super You, Long-Term Tricks. Having come so far, from a disfigured, overweight body and a foggy mind to one that felt strong, smart, and energized, I faced a new, crucial challenge: how to make it last. So many times in the past, I had made progress only to slide back into old habits. This wasn't just a 6-month project. It was a new way of life. This chapter is about sustaining the super you, long-term tricks, the simple strategies I put in place to ensure my transformation wasn't just a temporary fix, but a permanent, healthy lifestyle. My biggest fear was falling back into the trap of my old self. I knew that willpower alone wasn't enough. I needed a system, a set of tricks that would make healthy choices easy and automatic, even on challenging days. The first long-term trick was to make my environment support my goals. Our surroundings have a huge impact on our choices. If unhealthy food was always visible, I'd eat it. If my walking shoes were hidden, I wouldn't move. Do. Arrange your home and workspace to make healthy choices easy. Don't. Keep temptations in plain sight or make healthy options hard to access. My do for this was simple. Kitchen cleanup. I removed all unhealthy snacks from my pantry and fridge. If they weren't there, I couldn't eat them. Instead, I stocked up on fruits, vegetables, nuts, and healthy proteins. Visible, healthy food. I kept a bowl of fruit on the counter, ready to grab. My water bottle was always full and within reach. Ready-to-go gear. My walking shoes and comfortable clothes were always near the door. My book for reading was on my bedside table, not buried under clutter. Designated sleep space. My bedroom remained a calm, dark sanctuary, dedicated only to sleep and relaxation, not work or screens. These simple changes in my environment made healthy choices the default, removing the need for constant willpower. My second long-term trick was scheduling and routine, but with flexibility. I had established daily routines for eating, moving, and sleeping. The trick was not to make them rigid and unforgiving, but consistent and adaptable. Do. Create consistent daily routines for healthy habits, but allow for small adjustments. Don't. Have a perfect or nothing mindset that leads to giving up if a routine is missed. My do was to treat my healthy habits like important appointments. My morning walk, my planned healthy meals, my wind-down routine for sleep, these were non-negotiable foundations of my day. However, I learned to be flexible. If I missed a walk in the morning, I'd find 10 minutes in the afternoon. If a meal plan went awry, I'd choose the healthiest option available and get back on track with the next meal, not the next day. This flexibility prevented me from feeling like a failure and spiraling. The third long-term trick was finding sustainable enjoyment in my activities. If my healthy habits felt like a chore, they wouldn't last. I needed to find ways to make them enjoyable. Do. Find activities you genuinely enjoy that support your health goals. Don't. Force yourself to do things you hate just because they're good for you. For movement, I started exploring different parks for my walks, listening to audiobooks or podcasts, or calling a friend while I walked. I tried simple dancing in my living room sometimes. For food, I experimented with new healthy recipes that were simple and tasty. I discovered new vegetables and fruits I enjoyed. For mental clarity, I found types of reading or simple brain games that I genuinely enjoyed, making brain training a pleasure. When activities bring joy, they become less about discipline and more about desire. My fourth long-term trick was tracking, but simply. In the beginning, My Tiny Habits notebook was enough. For long-term sustainability, I evolved it. I used a simple wall calendar to put a big X on each day I completed my core habits, e.g., water, movement, healthy meals, consistent sleep. Do. Use a simple tracking method to see your progress and maintain consistency. Don't. Get bogged down in complex tracking or feel discouraged by imperfect streaks. The goal wasn't a perfect streak, but a long chain of X's. If I missed a day, I just made sure to put an X the next day. It was about not breaking the chain for too long. Seeing my progress visually was incredibly motivating and reinforced my commitment. The fifth long-term trick was having a support system. Going it alone is hard. I didn't join a formal group, but I slowly started talking about my journey with a trusted friend or family member. Do. Share your journey with a supportive person or find a community. Don't. Try to keep your entire journey completely isolated. I shared my small wins, and they offered encouragement. Even just knowing someone else was aware of my goals gave me a sense of accountability. Sometimes, just a quick text message or conversation was enough to remind me why I started. The sixth long-term trick was continuous learning and adaptation. My body and mind weren't static. What worked perfectly in the first few months might need slight adjustments later. I kept reading, listening, and learning about simple, healthy habits. Do. Stay curious and open to learning new, simple ways to improve your health. Don't. Stick rigidly to initial plans if your body or needs change. If I hit a plateau, I'd research gentle ways to increase my movement or new healthy recipes. I learned to pay attention to how different foods or activities made me feel and adjust accordingly. This constant, gentle refinement kept things fresh and ensured I was always optimizing for my super smart body. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the trick was redefining success. Success wasn't about reaching a certain weight and then stopping. It was about the journey itself. It was about feeling good every day, having energy, and living with a clear mind. Do. Define success as consistent, healthy habits and feeling good, not just a final destination. Don't. See reaching a goal weight as the end of your journey. When I reframed success this way, there was no finish line where I could fall back. Every day that I chose a healthy meal, took a walk, or got good sleep was a success. This shift in mindset was probably the most powerful long-term trick of all, ensuring that the super you wasn't just a temporary state, but a sustainable, fulfilling way of life. Chapter 10. Your New Beginning. The Smart Body Blueprint. My journey started on a Tuesday or Wednesday, a painful moment on the edge of my bed, a wake-up call that felt like rock bottom. 6 months later, it was a very different me sitting there. My shoelaces were tied easily, my breath was steady, and my body felt light and strong. The brain fog was gone, replaced by a clear, sharp mind. This wasn't a magic trick, and it wasn't a punishment. It was the result of a simple, consistent blueprint built on tiny habits and a powerful shift in mindset. This final chapter, Your New Beginning, the Smart Body Blueprint, isn't just a summary, it's an invitation. It's the framework for your transformation, a guide to creating your own super smart body and mind starting today. Remember, my journey started with the simple understanding that I couldn't do everything at once. Big, drastic changes always led to failure. The 1% rule was the anchor that held everything together. It taught me that small, consistent steps, accumulated over time, lead to massive results. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Every single good choice, no matter how tiny, adds up. The Smart Body Blueprint is built on these foundational pillars, each with its simple do's and don'ts. Pillar 1. The Wake-Up Call and Tiny Habits, Chapters 1 and 2. The Problem. Overwhelm, past failures, feeling stuck. The Shift. Recognizing a moment of true desire for change, however painful, and then breaking down the massive goal into ridiculously tiny, manageable steps. Do. Identify your wake-up call moment. Choose just one tiny habit to start with, something you can do almost effortlessly every single day. Make it so small you can't fail. Don't. Try to change everything at once. Don't let past failures define your future. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Example for you. Drink 1 extra glass of water, walk for 5 minutes, or add 1 vegetable to 1 meal. Just 1. Pillar 2. Kitchen Secrets. Eating smarter, not less. Chapter 3. The Problem. Overeating. Poor food choices. Feeling hungry and deprived on diets. The Shift. Understanding that true change comes from what you eat, not just how much. Focusing on adding nutrient-dense foods and building satiety. Do. Prioritize protein, fiber, and healthy fats in every meal. Add more colorful vegetables and fruits. Eat slowly and mindfully. Plan simple meals ahead of time. Don't. Starve yourself or completely cut out entire food groups. Don't eat while distracted. Don't fall for all or nothing thinking. Allow small, infrequent treats in moderation. Example for you. Make half your plate vegetables at dinner. Add an egg to your breakfast. Carry a small bag of nuts for a smart snack. Pillar 3. Move your body, change your mind. Simple fitness. Chapter 4. The Problem. Sedentary lifestyle, fear of exercise, lack of time, energy for traditional workouts. The Shift. Redefining fitness as any joyful movement, recognizing the mental benefits of physical activity. Do. Start with short, gentle daily movement, like walking. Gradually increase duration. Incorporate simple bodyweight exercises. Listen to your body and rest when needed. Prioritize consistency over intensity. Don't jump into extreme workouts. Don't ignore pain. Don't think you need a gym or fancy equipment to start. Example for you. Take a 10-minute walk around your block. Do piet wall push-ups. Stretch for 3 minutes before bed. Pillar 4. Sleep your way to success. Rest and repair. Chapter 5. The Problem. Chronic fatigue, poor recovery, inconsistent sleep patterns. The Shift. Recognizing sleep as a foundational pillar of health, critical for physical repair and mental clarity. Do. Establish a consistent sleep schedule, same bedtime, wake time, even on weekends. Create a cool, dark, quiet sleep sanctuary. Develop a screen-free, wind-down routine before bed. Don't cut sleep short. Don't use screens right before bed. Don't ignore the link between poor sleep and increased hunger cravings. Example for you. Go to bed 15 minutes earlier than usual. Turn off all screens 30 minutes before bed. Pillar 5. Mind Power. Beyond the Mirror. Chapter 6. The Problem. Negative self-talk, low self-belief, focusing only on external appearance. The Shift. Understanding that lasting transformation starts with a strong, positive mindset. Do. Catch negative self-talk and reframe it gently. Practice daily visualization of your success. Cultivate gratitude for small things. Celebrate every tiny win. Practice self-compassion and forgive yourself for mistakes. Don't beat yourself up for negative thoughts. Don't dwell on failures. Don't compare yourself to others. Example for you. When a negative thought appears, simply say, "Noticing that thought." List 3 things you're grateful for each night. Pillar 6, Bye-Bye Brain Fog, Fueling Your Focus, Chapter 7. The problem: mental sluggishness, poor memory, difficulty concentrating. The shift: recognizing the direct link between lifestyle habits and cognitive function. Do: fuel your brain with healthy fats, omega-3s, antioxidants, colorful veggies, and whole grains. Stay well hydrated. Take short movement breaks to boost blood flow to the brain. Practice single tasking. Gently challenge your brain with new learning. Don't rely on sugar and caffeine for artificial mental boosts. Don't multitask or allow constant distractions. Example for you: add a handful of berries to your breakfast. Drink a glass of water every hour. Do 2 minutes of stretching when you feel mentally tired. Pillar 7. Energy Unleashed, Powering Through Your Day, Chapter 8. The problem: chronic fatigue, energy crashes, reliance on stimulants. The shift: learning to manage energy as a resource, making deposits throughout the day. Do: start your day with a calm, hydrating, and nutritious routine. Eat balanced meals, snacks for sustained energy. Take strategic movement and mental breaks throughout the day. Get fresh air and sunlight. Manage stress effectively. Don't skip meals. Don't push through exhaustion until burnout. Don't rely solely on quick fixes like coffee or sugar. Example for you: have a protein-rich breakfast. Step outside for 5 minutes during your lunch break. Pillar 8. Sustaining the Super You, Long-Term Tricks, Chapter 9. The problem: reverting to old habits, lack of consistency after initial progress. The shift: implementing systems and mindsets that make healthy choices easy and permanent. Do: optimize your environment to support healthy choices. Create flexible routines. Find enjoyment in your healthy activities. Use simple tracking methods. Build a supportive community. Continuously learn and adapt. Redefine success as consistent, healthy living. Don't keep temptations visible. Don't strive for rigid perfection. Don't rely solely on willpower. Example for you: clear unhealthy snacks from your pantry. Put your exercise clothes out the night before. Find a podcast you love for your walks. This is your blueprint. It's not about complex scientific theories or expensive programs. It's about the simple, everyday choices that, when done consistently, accumulate into profound transformation. I went from a feeling of extreme disfigurement and mental fog to a super smart body and mind in 6 months, not by being perfect, but by committing to these simple, sustainable principles. Your new beginning doesn't require a special day or a grand announcement. It starts with one tiny decision right now. It starts with the understanding that you deserve to feel energetic, clear-headed, and strong. You have the power within you to unleash your own super smart body. This is not the end of a book. It's the beginning of your incredible, lasting transformation. The power is in your hands. Let's do this. So, we've talked about a lot today. We've talked about my journey from feeling completely lost in my own body and mind to finding simple ways to transform everything. We covered how tiny changes, like drinking a little more water or walking for just a few minutes, can make a huge difference. We looked at how eating smarter, not less, can fill you with energy and clear your mind. We talked about how movement is not just for your body, but for making your brain sharp. We learned how sleep is like a magic repair shop for your whole self. And we found out how important your mind power is, how changing your thoughts can change your life. This isn't about me being special. It's about me finding simple steps that anyone can do. It's about proving that you don't need a lot of money, or a lot of time or fancy equipment to feel amazing. You just need to start, and you need to be kind to yourself along the way. Remember that little voice in your head? The one that tells you it's too hard or you're not good enough? That voice is a liar. You are good enough. You are strong enough. And you can do this. Maybe you watched this video today and thought, yes, that's me. I want that. Or maybe you just picked up one small idea that sounded interesting. That's perfect. That's how it starts. Just one idea. Just one tiny change. Don't feel like you have to do everything all at once. Pick one thing from this video. Just one. Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water today. Maybe it's walking for 5 minutes around your house. Maybe it's turning off your phone 15 minutes before bed. Start there. That tiny step is your new beginning. And here's why you should keep watching this channel and subscribe if you haven't already. This video was just the beginning. In the next videos, I'm going to share even more simple, easy to follow do's and don'ts for each part of this transformation. I'll show you exactly what I ate, what simple movements I did, and even more tricks to sharpen your mind and boost your energy. I'll break down my exact daily routines, step by step, so you can see how easily they fit into a normal life. This isn't just theory. It's what truly worked for me, and I believe it can work for you too. This journey is about building a better you, not just for a few months, but for life. It's about feeling good, having energy, thinking clearly, and living fully. It's about giving yourself the gift of a super smart body and a super smart mind. You are worth it. Your health is worth it. Your happiness is worth it. So, don't just watch this video and forget about it. Take action. Pick your tiny habit right now. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community. Because in the next videos, we're diving deep into the exact steps that made all the difference. Your transformation starts now. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Let's build that super smart body together.